Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, your friendly neighborhood transcriber man. And in today's video, what we're going to be looking at is tutorials on Guitar Pro 7. More specifically, since the release of Guitar Pro 7.5, there's a lot of new additions to the software, so I thought it might make sense to revise my old videos. Got much better video quality, much better audio now, thanks to my supporters over on patreon.com, link in the description. So yeah, I thought it would be a lot of fun to go over that and show you some of these new features and to really get you started so you can use the software effectively. Part 1 is going to cover the very basics, the absolute fundamentals, opening the software, how to open new files, how to open a guitar track, how to input notes, how to change the tuning of your guitar, etc. Nothing revolutionary, don't worry, as the series progresses, I'm going to delve into the really advanced stuff, but I really do want to focus and be a lot more to the point with these videos and really get you where you need to be effectively. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. Please do hit that subscribe button, tell all your friends about it, and if you have any questions about this whatsoever, or any questions about future videos, things that you might need me to cover, please do let me know in that comments section below. Anyway, over to the video. So here we have it, Guitar Pro 7.5. Now when looking at my screen, you're probably going to see something slightly different to what you're seeing on your screen because I work in this software daily. I have a lot of recent files. This will probably... So here we have it, Guitar Pro 7.5. Now just looking at this screen, mine probably looks a little bit different to yours because I'm using this software daily, so I have lots of recent files. You're probably going to have nothing there, but in essence, none of it matters anyway. You will start filling this out as you start making files. What you're going to want to do when you open Guitar Pro for the first time is head to New File. So you're going to click New File, and this is going to bring up the main screen that we're going to be looking at today. Now the default track tends to be electric guitar overdriven. My tip for you, even if you're thinking of working with a distorted guitar, go for the overdriven guitar. It sounds a lot better, it's a lot less harsh on the ears. But of course, you know, you'll be able to change all of these tones as you go along. So electric guitar, overdriven, we don't need to worry too much about this stuff down here. It will be addressed as we go on. So I'm just going to create that, and what you will find is a tab and notation system appears on screen on our page. So the first thing to really get our head around in Guitar Pro is where the layout for editing things is, or how we can bring up windows in order to edit various parameters. That's all controlled up here in the top left, where we have show and hide, the addition palette, the global view, and the inspector. Now moving forward, I'm just going to refer to these as the left panel, the bottom panel, and the right panel. It's kind of how I think of them. I think of the left panel as being my notation, the bottom panel as being my mixer. You know, so if I click that, that mixer at the bottom will disappear. You're probably not going to need that. And the right panel is the inspector. In here you will find song information and track information. So the first thing to deal with is the tuning. For argument's sake, you might not be working in standard tuning. There are a couple of ways to edit this. In the old Guitar Pro, we would come over here into track and click tuning and edit things like that. But in the new version of Guitar Pro 7.5, they've introduced click to edit. So initially I was confused by this. I'm clicking things and nothing's really happening. What you need to do is hover over an item. So if I hover over standard tuning, you'll notice it comes up in blue. When I click that, that will bring up my tuning window. Now, with this tuning window open, I'm in control. I can edit anything I want. I can create a crazy tuning. I can create a 10-string guitar if you'd like. It's a nice new feature, right? We're just going to deal with the old bog standard boring 6-string guitar. You could do a 3-string guitar, which is nice, but we'll deal with a 6-string guitar. So if I wanted to create a drop D tuning, I can drop that low E string down to a D. And of course I can hit these play buttons to check those notes are what I'm expecting them to be. Or if I press this play button here, this will play all of the strings. Now drop D is a tuning that will appear in this favorites menu up here. You can look through here and look for common tunings. If you wanted a guitar that was down a step, you know, you can access that. Or drop B tuning, which is a tuning which I have specified. Lots of options. Ultimately, you can create whatever you want, right? So let's just say, for argument's sake, we are in, we'll tune down a tone. So D, G, C, F, A, D. D, G, C, F, A, D. Just so you can see how easy it is to create a new tuning. And it's as simple as that. Any tuning you like, boom. Now I'm going to keep the fingering. That will now display on the top of the score so you can see what tuning we are in. Now at this stage I'm going to get rid of that panel on the right just because I don't need it to be there. So when it comes to inputting notes in Guitar Pro, it's a very simple process, and you've got three options really. You can input notes by using the notation. I can move to any note I want, like C, press enter, and that note will be added. The problem with that as a system is that it's going to randomly generate that note in tab, which isn't always going to be ideal for guitar players, at least, right? We're very specific about our fingerings. So you can also input using the tablature. Now this is probably going to be the method that most of you guys are going to use, and from here we kind of have a subset of ways to do this. We can control which string we're on by using either the mouse. I can click if I want the second string, the third string, fourth string, etc. Or I can use the arrow keys on my keyboard, up, down, to go between those strings. I tend to use those arrow keys. So if I wanted to input a chord, like an open E major chord, I guess in D tuning would be a D chord, what I would do is I would go to my low string and I'm going to press 0 on my keyboard, and that's going to input the open string. Move up and press 2. That will input the second fret. Move up and press 2. Move up, press 1. Move up, press 0. Move up and press 0. Now, looking at that, I've got my chord. That was what I wanted. Wonderful. But rhythmically, this might not be what I'm going for. This is a quarter note. Now, in order to edit any rhythms, two options. We can either come over to our panel on the left and click the rhythm that we would like. So maybe I want a dotted eighth note. So I click my eighth note, and then I'd move down here and I'd click my dot, and you'll see that that's changed. It's now changed to that dotted eighth note. Go back to my quarter note. This can also be controlled, and this is what I would recommend. You can control all of this by using the plus and minus keys on your keyboard. So I'm in the habit of doing that. I don't like to go between my mouse and my keyboard over and over. I find it's bad for the wrist. So if I press minus, the note will become longer in length. And if I press plus, the note will become shorter in length. That way I can cycle through the rhythm that I'm needing at any given time. So just using that alone and a combination of copy paste, Control C and Control V, I can input whatever rhythm I need. So after putting one chord in, if I want to put another chord in, I would then press right on my arrow key. That moves me to the next space and I put my chord in. I'm using Control Paste again, or Control V, sorry. So my rhythm, if I wanted to change this, you know, I can press plus, and then I'll do another Control C and V. Easy to put these rhythms in. Now when a bar is full, you'll see there I filled that bar, I then moved over one more and it automatically moved me into the next bar, which is great. So let's write another rhythm. So I'm typing very quickly there because I've got used to using those plus and minus keys. So what I would recommend is using the software or practicing putting anything in, just getting into the habit. If you needed to write out a minor pentatonic scale using eighth notes, I put in my number, I then shift to the rhythm that I want to use, so in this case eighth notes, and now I'm just going to use my arrows on my keyboard to write 5 and then 8, move on to the A string, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. That's me inputting those rhythms. And of course you can be as over the top as you like with this. If I wanted to write a silly rhythm, I'll deal with rests in another video. If I want to write something silly in, you'll notice that I'm doing this all without having to click my mouse. So on and so forth. You know, I'm just writing this, not putting any thought into what I'm really writing there. Yeah, so very quick and easy. Now there is one final way that we can edit notes or put notes in, and this is not one that I personally use, but one that you might find useful to you. So if you click up here in the top right, what you will see here is the show or hide fretboard view. When you do that, it's going to bring up a guitar fretboard. You can put this wherever you want, you know, drag it around. I'll keep it up there. I mean, that is why I had it there. Make it a bit bigger so you can see it. That's the same principle, right? I'm now going to use my left hand to control the arrows on my keyboard. I'm going to select the right note value. And simply by clicking the fretboard, it's going to put those notes in for me. Now thinking about it, that actually does feel quite efficient because I no longer need to shift between what string I'm playing. If I need to notate a chord, you know, I can do that simply by clicking. Very easy, very effective. So yeah, I guess I am kind of impressed by that. It's not something I'm likely to switch over to anytime soon, but I can see how that would appeal to some people. It's also worth mentioning that, of course, you could use the piano roll to do that same thing. I could click notes in the piano roll, but that's not going to give you the control of where that note is being played in the tab. So, very simple. One last thing I should point out, actually. You'll notice that this bar is showing up in red. Why might that be? This bar is also showing up in red. Why might that be? It's because the bar is incomplete. So Guitar Pro will warn you when a bar isn't complete. This bar isn't full. It's only got a beat and a half in there. I still need to fill that out with more space in order to fill up the bar and make it, you know, rhythmically consistent. So there we go. That is our first lesson in Guitar Pro 7.5, learning to open a file, change the tuning, and inputting notes. I would highly recommend practicing this, even if it involves picking up a guitar magazine or a notation book, looking at the notation, and just going out of your way to write it out in Guitar Pro. Any time spent doing that is going to improve the speed in which you can work in this software, and that is always going to come recommended. I can work extremely fast in this software. In fact, some people literally pay me to take tab books and write them out in Guitar Pro because I can do it so fast, and it's not really time effective or for them to do the same sort of job. So yeah, those jobs are always fun, of course. Anyway, if you have enjoyed that, what I would recommend you do is check me out on Patreon. There is a button on screen for you to do that now. That's a cool place to support the channel. Lots of cool stuff, transcription challenges, private Facebook group. It's a lot of fun. Always enjoy doing that stuff. You can also subscribe by clicking the button below that on screen. And there are 2 more of my videos that you can check out on the right hand side. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. And as I say, please do leave any questions in the comments section below. I'm more than happy to help out. I'm really hoping that we can get the Guitar Pro 7.5 thing going far and wide, and we can get you where you want to be with it. So much love, and I'll see you for another video soon. Bye.